Thanks for joining us today. I'm Gabe with Backwoods Pursuit. Today we're going to talk about a first aid kit for backpacking, and I'm going to go through my backcountry hunting first aid kit here that I've got here and show you what I take when I go out for multiple nights in the backcountry. First aid kits are an essential part of being safe in the backcountry, so I want to go over and give you an idea of what I like to take when I'm going out for multiple nights, so hopefully that is helpful for you. As always, we really do appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button for us and follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and check out our website backwoodspursuit.com. I'll put links to all that down in the description, as well as links to the products here that I take with me on my backcountry hunting trips as far as the first aid kit is concerned, so you can check them out and pick some up if you need to add to your kit. Let's get started. Alright, so first up, let's look at a couple things here, some of the bigger items here. The first one here is a Swot T Tourniquet. This is something that is super useful to have. It's really versatile. It's like a big rubber band. Basically, it can be used as a tourniquet, or it can also be used just to seal up a bandage, that sort of thing. So that's real nice to have. Downside to this is it's a little bit heavier than something like this tourniquet here, which is a cat tourniquet. This is several ounces lighter than the Swot T, but not quite as versatile. So it's good to have one or the other. You don't necessarily need both of them, but you can take both of them if you're concerned about that. But those are two things that are on the more catastrophic end of things that you might want to have in your kit. Another here is a clotting, a quick clot gauze. So this is going to help you if you do have some heavy bleeding that you need to take care of. That'll help stop the bleeding and get you back to safety. Another one here is an Israeli bandage. Again, this is something that's going to be more on the catastrophic side, where you're really bleeding, you cut yourself bad, field dressing an animal, something like that. Not quite tourniquet necessary, but it does also allow you to wrap a wound, and it has a key, if you will, to turn that and really cinch down over the wound, so it can help stop the bleeding there. And that's super lightweight, something I definitely recommend picking up there. Just your standard wrap, like something like that, really lightweight but nice to have if you have just a smaller wound that you want to cover that way. Something else I've got here, I've got some medical tape if you need to tape up something that's on a cut or something of that nature. And then some athletic tape, again just a good universal thing. I took some off of a roll, just made my own little roll, so just a little bit there. And then some leuco tape as well. This is more for blisters, so I just keep it in my first aid kit in case I'm getting a bad blister. I typically don't have issues with blisters, but I always keep some in there just in case. Here's some alcohol or some the iodine wipes in case you need to clean off a wound, and the same here with some alcohol prep wipes if you need to clean out a wound before you patch it up and or stitch it or whatnot. Some more towelettes and alcohol towelettes, that kind of thing. What I ended up doing on this side, the items that are on this side here, I picked up just a fairly standard first aid kit and took the items out of it that I could use and put in my own little Ziploc bag like that. So got a couple of different wipes here. Probably don't need that many, but I can probably take a couple out of there, but that's what came with the kit. A few bandages here, of course. And then some cream, some triple antibiotic cream, and just some things if you have a smaller cut that you need to take care of. Some aspirin here, got a couple of packages of aspirin, and then I always carry some water purification tablets in my first aid kit too. I always have a filter with me when I'm out there, but in the event that the filter breaks or is not working and I have an emergency, I've got enough tablets here to do enough water to get me back to safety if I need to. Here I've got some Steri-Strips, and these are like a butterfly stitch here. I got a couple of these and plenty to do. More cuts than I need to, but those are basically weigh nothing, so it's good to have those. Those are basically just something you put over. If you cut yourself real bad, you put them over, tighten that down. It just it acts like stitches, but without having to actually stitch yourself up. And then I've got some poison ivy. This is just tech new poison ivy cream, and there's also some stinging nettle cream in here. So if you get into that, it depends on where you hunt or where you hike. That might be something to keep around. It could really make your life a lot more comfortable if you happen to get yourself in some trouble that way. And then I've got a couple of trash bags, and this is more for if I need something, just a general use item. You know, could be something that saves some time if you are in a rainstorm, or you could be used to if you get an animal down, something like that. You can use a trash bag for a lot of different things. Finally, I've got just a pair of gloves. Something else I like to keep in my kit is some kind of Benadryl or allergy medication in case you get into a plant, or maybe bee sting, hornet's nest, or even a snake bite, something like that. Something where an allergy medication might help that situation, along with maybe an EpiPen. I don't have one here, but if you tend to have severe allergic reactions, that could be a lifesaver as well. Something you might want to consider adding. Of course, consult your doctor on those things as well. I tend to get hay fever a little bit when I'm out there, so allergy medication could be a help for me that way. I also like to have my Garmin Mini or something like this that has a SOS feature, or something that can call for help if you get into a real severe situation where maybe you have a bad snake bite or something and you're too far away to get back to the pickup. Maybe it's life-threatening, and you go ahead and use that SOS button. Obviously, you want that to be a serious situation before you call for that kind of help, but it's nice to have that as a backup for safety as well. So I put all these things together, and I put them in a bag like this. Is the 6 a.m. I think this is the medium or large, I can't remember. The bag, whatever's going to work best for you that way. That is enough to carry all this in. I know I probably have more here than you typically need, but it's it's one of those things where I don't like my first aid kit here to be as heavy as this is necessary. This is about 16-17 ounces. And that's on the heavy side for a first aid kit. I like to keep that lighter than that, but at the same time, something that's going to save your life is probably worth it as well. So that's what I've got in my first aid kit, my emergency kit when I go backcountry hunting. Hopefully that's helpful for you, and if you have any questions, drop those down in the comments there. If you think I missed something here, I'd love to hear about that. If you think I've got too much here, definitely drop that in the comment section as well. Love to hear about it. Thanks for watching here today. We'll see you next time.